If you've ever thought about RV travel or camper van travel, I've got a special guest today that we're going to ask a few questions to. And you know what? We're going to learn a few things. So let's go. I am so excited. You know why? Because today I get to share with you some words of wisdom from a really awesome woman. If you are a van life traveler or thought about van life traveling or RV traveling, this is someone you need to listen to. Let's talk to RV Rebel Girl, otherwise known as Carolyn. She's pretty cool.
Hi, I'm RV Rebel Girl, Carolyn, and this is my van. I call it the den, and I pull my travel trailer with my den. And the reason that I have a van and a trailer is because I'm a full-time RVer or a full-time nomad. So I live in my trailer, but I also have my van as a spare room, also to carry some of those things that just don't fit in the trailer, because one of the biggest things that some RVers forget about is weight. And you can only have so much weight on your axle. My axle's a 4,000-pound axle, so I can't put a lot of weight on it. But there's a lot of things that you really do need out here, and it's not like you're not being minimal, but there are things that you need in the event of an emergency, or if your camper breaks down. And where are you going to stay? I could stay in my van. It's built to the point where I could stay in my van, and my van can power my camper if I'm out boondocking because of the setup that I have. So one of the biggest questions that I get is, why do I live this lifestyle? Why am I a nomad? Why am I living in my camper, and why don't I have a sticks and bricks? There are a lot of people who live this life that still have a sticks and bricks at home that they can go back to. And when I first started out in this life, I did have an apartment. I had already converted and acclimated myself to live in a small, tiny apartment. And I had sold my home and retired. But if I was retired and had an apartment or a house, I couldn't afford to travel and see the United States. And one of the things I've always wanted to do is see this country, because it's beautiful and God has blessed us with so many wonderful things to see. So I wanted to live this lifestyle and be able to travel all over the United States. And on a retired income, you just can't do that. I mean, Social Security barely allows you to live and buy yourself food, let alone pay even a rent or mortgage. And how could you do it and have rent, mortgage, and a van, and a camper, and pay for all the gasoline prices that there are out there? So this is my way of being able to see the United States. You know, see the USA in a Chevrolet. Isn't that what Dinah Shore used to say? Although I'm in a Ford. But I am a Ford girl. Ford was my vehicle of choice ever since my very first car. So, and I drove it for a living as a police officer. So anyway, so that's what I did. And I've been doing this since 2017, and I love it. And it's great. And my grandkids think it's really cool to be able to camp with grandma, you know. And I go to a lot of great places, and I've met such wonderful people in this life. It's great.
Do you travel with a pet?
I travel with a pet. My four-legged furry friend, her name is Diva Danny, RV Diva Danny. She's only like 5 pounds, but she does alert me to when there's strangers. She barks if somebody comes up to the camper. She watches people and she actually growls at people outside. So she alerts me when I'm in the RV or in the van. One of the things that a person should keep in mind is, how do they feel safe? Do they feel safe? They might be safe, they might not be safe, but do you feel safe, and are you confident? And if you're in a van or a Class C or a motorhome, one of the advantages, as opposed to the way I travel, is that you can hop right up into your driver's seat and pull away. My setup, you can't do that unless you're staying in the van. So if I pull up someplace I'm not real comfortable, I'll stay in the van. And then I know that if I'm uncomfortable, I can just hop up in the front seat, me and my little Diva Danny, and we can just take our house on wheels and go. But if I'm in the camper sleeping and I'm uncomfortable, there's a lot to move in that, and getting that ready to go on the road, especially if you're unhitched. So you got to be careful when you unhitch and if you unhitch, and there's a lot of safety issues that people have, and there's a lot of controversy on, do I carry a weapon? Do I carry mace? Do I carry this or that? And I tell people not to advertise what their form of security is, because it might encourage people to bother you. But basically, sometimes I'll stick, a couple pairs of shoes outside, or I'll carry a pair of men's boots and stick them a pair of men's boots outside. Now, I know that that's kind of like, okay, I am an independent woman, but realistically, some people think that if there's a man in the van, or if there's a man in your house, they're not going to bother you. I have a couple of bullet holes magnet things, I know. But it can help you, and I talk to my dog all the time. So when I'm talking to my dog and I say, I'll be right back, people think there's somebody else in there. And to me, there is somebody in there. It's my dog, it's my family, but they don't know that, unless they know me. I have my name on here. A lot of people see me on YouTube, so they really know that I am by myself. But I think I give out enough presence in my confidence that people realize that I will take all precautions to protect myself if I have to, and I keep my distance from people. And I'm just very careful in my judgment on who I let in my space. And some of that is, it is all about being, knowing your outside atmosphere and being conscious of your surroundings, and that's a big thing with this life. You have to know your surroundings. Sometimes it's safer to be where there's nobody, and other times, it may not be as safe to be in the middle of a city, living in a house, go taking your garbage out. It might be safer just to be in the middle of nowhere where there's no one. When I decided to start this lifestyle, I took a lot of things into consideration. I looked at different modes of travel, different kind of rigs, and could I live in a small space? I would first advise you to go tiny in an apartment or something, or just seclude yourself in your bedroom and see if you could live in your bedroom with everything in there, your little kitchen, everything. Put a little porta potty in there and see if you could live that way in that small quarters. But don't give up your apartment, don't give up your house until you know that you can live this life. So get yourself either a van or an SUV, something that you can, or even a small trailer, and pull a small trailer just for weekend warrior. And make sure you could live minimal and live this lifestyle first and be a weekend warrior until you decide for sure, yeah, this is for me. I can do this. I can live this lifestyle.
That was really cool. I'm glad that we have amazing women that can share their stories so that we all can learn from that awesome wisdom. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button and bell to get notified. I share all sorts of really amazing RV content every single week, and I'd love for you to be a part of our community.
In a van down by the batteries are going down. It's supposed to say, take me to the river.
More about how to travel safely and enjoy our I don't know. Light, dark, light, dark. Okay, I think I've done a light test now. What do you think?